Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I'll be reviewing the CV90105 XC-8, a currently Tier 6 9.7 PR light tank that exists as a premium pack vehicle for the Swedish Ground Forces tech tree. In this video, I'll be going over everything that you need to know about it, including its stats, how it plays, its strengths and weaknesses. I'll give some scores in several key areas, and then I'll give my final recommendation on if I feel that this vehicle is worth purchasing or not. As always, please subscribe for more content like this, as that would make you more well put together than an IKEA piece of furniture. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, as always, I'll place its stats here on the side of the screen. Important stats to note are its speed, reload rate, and armor, or lack thereof. Now, for how it plays. Simply put, this is a supercharged CV90105 TML on steroids. I say that because the XC-8 replaced the TML in the tech tree and as a purchase, and is also substantially better in basically every meaningful way. Between its better ammunition, power to weight ratio, reload rate, and more, the XC-8 is essentially a total improvement. That said, let's get into how it plays. Basically, the XC-8 is a scout tank slash sniper, but is also an amazing flanker that can wreak havoc behind enemy lines, largely due to the incredible cannon present on this beast. With its top DM33 shell, the XC-8 can pen over 400mm of armor at max and has a 5-second reload rate that is guaranteed due to the excellent autoloader found in this vehicle. This means that you can oftentimes pen the frontal armor of any tank at close range, which, if using the excellent speed of this beast, may be fairly common if you decide to flank and backline the enemy. Further, because of the good though not amazing 10x zoom with the gunner's optics, combined with the very clear Gen 2 thermals, you can pinpoint enemies at far ranges and fire rapidly, meaning that even if you miss once or twice, you can try some more, possibly before the enemy even knows that you're there. Speaking of, if you'd like, I have a thermal generation comparison video that I made linked below, so check it out. It's less than 2 minutes, so it's definitely worth the watch. Ultimately though, getting back to this video, it is this vehicle's speed and power that, despite the poor armor that can hardly withstand low penning autocannons from the front, makes the XC-8 into a beast. When played aggressively, you can quickly rack up kills and almost single-handedly win matches for your team, as your backlining and flanking will demoralize the enemy, causing them to rage quit one by one. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. In short, while you will be hard-pressed to mainline with this vehicle due to its barely there armor, you can play almost any other way that you'd like, such as flanking, sniping, backlining, and even support. Though I would stay away from the support role, as the XC-8 plays best when played aggressively and with some lead in your foot. Now with that said, let's get into the strengths and weaknesses. Now first, for its strengths. As a fantastic cannon that is both accurate and deadly, with the ability to shoot through upwards of 400mm of armor at max, again with its excellent DM33 shell. It also has an autoloader that provides a reload speed of 5 seconds flat, which is better than most or all tanks around this BR. Third, it has great speed and acceleration. Though it doesn't matter now, the XC-8 has a better power to weight ratio than the outgoing TML, and it shows. For its fourth strength, it has Gen 2 thermals for both the gunner and commander. Fifth, it has better than average turret traverse speed. Not the best, but certainly pretty good. For its sixth strength, it has the engine and transmission mounted up front. This will help to protect your crew against more lightly powered projectiles. For the seventh strength, it has an excellent cannon elevation and depression, with a range of -10 degrees to +42 degrees. Now for its eighth strength, it has access to smoke shells and an excellent smoke grenade system, of which deploys 4 grenades to the side and front of you for maximum coverage for minimal smoke grenade usage. Beyond this, the XC-8 has a laser warning system and can both scout and use a scout drone. And finally, it has premium RP and SL bonuses. Now for the weaknesses. It has poor armor that will barely stop lighter autocannons when aimed at the front, and will struggle to stop HMGs on the side or rear of the hull of this vehicle. For its second weakness, it has only an LMG mounted in the turret, and that's it. For its third weakness, it only has 3 crew members, which further decreases survivability. Fourth, while still excellent in terms of speed and maneuverability, other vehicles such as the XM1 are around as fast as the XC-8, which can be a problem when flanking and capping points, though this isn't so much of a weakness on the XC-8, but rather just pointing out that there are other vehicles vehicles that are going to be just about as maneuverable as you. And finally, pretty much the whole back of this vehicle is a giant ammo rack, meaning that the only somewhat safe spot for an enemy to hit is going to be across the front. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into how I scored this vehicle. First, for armament, I give the XC-8 a 9 out of 10. The XC-8 has the complete package. Excellent armor pen, good choice of shells, excellent reload speed, and good gunner's optics. Between these features, the XC-8 is a powerhouse and feels fairly unique at its BR, even in the sea of premium vehicles that is 9.0 to 10.0 BR. Where it is lacking, however, is that the XC-8 does not have an HMG and doesn't have a wide range of zoom, being that it only has between 8.8 and 10 times zoom, which can ultimately make spotting enemies close up a little bit more difficult if you're looking through the gunner's sights. Those are my only two critiques though, and they are very much minor issues, though an HMG or even a roof-mounted LMG would definitely be very nice when countering helicopters. Second, for mobility, I give this an 8.5 out of 10. The XC-8 is what a light tank should be. It's quick, maneuverable, and can move just about as well off-road as on. At this BR, we run into issues in War Thunder where MBTs are essentially as fast, or even in some cases faster than light tanks, which until recently would nullify a very large part of the role of the light tank. I mean, why would you want to use a light tank when you can have a much better armored and even in many cases better armed vehicle at the same exact BR? The XC-8, however, is faster than even its predecessor, and may just about be the fastest high BR premium tank out there, outside of possibly the VRCC, though the XC-8 is definitely faster across a wider array of terrains. Regardless, the mobility on this vehicle will allow you to scout, cap, flank, and get from hotspot to hotspot with incredible ease, and that's all we could ever want from a light tank. Again, I wish it were a touch faster or slightly less heavy, but those are more personal gripes than actual issues. Now for survivability, I give it a 3 out of 10. As you may have guessed, the survivability on this vehicle is poor. While it will largely withstand HMG fire, at least from the front, as it has some capability of also deflecting some weaker autocannons, the armor and the crew size of this vehicle will limit it substantially when it comes to survivability. One possible advantage to come out of its armor is that it is possible for APFSDS shells to overpen you in certain areas, making it so that they could do minimal damage to the inside of the vehicle and thus not kill crew members. Further, there is internal anti-frag armor that can help to keep the crew safe from bombs at a distance, but it doesn't do all too much in most scenarios. Now overall, I give the XC-8 a 7.5 out of 10. The XC-8 is a dream for people that like to play aggressively. For me, I've been getting into RRB much more, at least as of recent, because I feel that ground battles focused a bit too much on defensive play, where people would either camp, spawn kill, or perform some sort of action that's just really annoying. I almost didn't feel that there was a vehicle that could perform the aggressive maneuvers that I wanted to do and succeed. The XC-8 is that tank, and while it will definitely die quickly if hit, you can still easily dominate a match by being quick and singling out enemies, and for that, I love this vehicle. That said, should you purchase the CV90105 XC-8? Put concisely, yes. I feel that this vehicle is worthy of purchase, and I give it my Tankenstein seal of approval. While players that like heavy armor and larger cannons, such as terms lovers, should be wary, the XC-8 fills in the often forgotten niche in ground battles that encourages players to be aggressive, fast, and deadly. All too often, whether by map design, game design, or simply because of vehicle limitations, such as slower speeds, people are lulled into certain playstyles that are good for grinding but aren't very fun. Thankfully, the XC-8 allows you to play hard while grinding the tech tree hard. While I don't know if it will stay at 9.7 BR forever, I feel that even at 9.7 BR, it will still be just about as good at what it does. This is a rare sort of vehicle in War Thunder for those that don't like to sit around and lure people into a trap. This is for those that like to break down doors and ruin the enemy's match, and I think that we can all appreciate that. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments below, and also what you thought about this vehicle. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video, as they both help channel growth immensely. Either way though, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care everyone.